Hi, I'm Heather Valentine, educator and blogger at the Sewing Loft. One of my favorite things to do is share simple and easy tips to improve your everyday sewing. Today, I've got this really cute yoga skirt that is going to quickly become the staple in your wardrobe. We're going to start by making an easy pattern. Now don't be intimidated, we're going to do it in 3 simple measurements. You're going to want to measure your waist and your hip. Now make sure when you're measuring these that you're going to make sure that you measure your waist right on where you want the skirt to rest. So if you want to wear it a little higher around your natural waist, measure it there, and the fullest point of your hips. After you have those 2 measurements, you also then want your finished length. If you're not sure what that should be, head to your closet and grab your favorite skirt. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use 30 inches for my waist and 40 inches for my hip. We are going to write them down on a piece of paper and add 1 inch to each measurement, and that is going to be for our seam allowance. Divide them in half, and that will give us the width of our rectangle. We want to create our rectangle with the waist along the top and the length at the bottom. Draw that out on a piece of drafting paper and make sure that you write, for easy marking, your waist and length so that you don't get it mistaken later on. Divide your paper with your ruler in 3 easy sections. And I've actually gone ahead and I've put my center front line just to line up on my next piece. Now I know what you're thinking, this piece of paper, how's this going to turn into that? Well, this is where the magic happens. We're going to grab our paper scissors and we're going to do a little slash and spread. The first thing you're going to do is cut from the bottom to the top along each line that we've divided the pattern into. And this is the important part. We want to stop around 1/4 inch from the top. So you do not want to cut it all the way through. Repeat it on your other line. Okay. And now we're going to layer it over another piece of draft paper. I've already sketched out my center front line just to make it easy. And you will line them up. So you can see that I've drawn a hip measurement on this piece of paper already. My little marks, those are my hip measurement cut in half. And you're just going to spread it out. And you can now tape it down or trace it off accordingly. Once you have it traced off, you're going to notice that your waist and hemline are a little, I want to say janky, but that's not the best word. They're a little angular. I'll just trace this one off. So after you have it, you are going to use your hip curve and smooth out all of your angles. This is now your pattern that you can use for all of your skirts. Okay? So that is now a nice smooth waistline. You've taped it down and you will do exactly the same for the hem. Then we're going to work on our waistband. Now, this is a fold-over waistband, the yoga style. So depending on the height that you would like for it to be folding back down will depend on the total height of your waist. I like to use 9 inches, so when it folds down, it's really only about 4.5. That's my personal preference, so you'll have to see what yours is. To create that, I've taken my waistband measurement. Sorry, I have it upside down. I've taken my waistband measurement, folded it in half, I've divided it by 2, and I have taken 3 inches off of it. And this is so that the waistband will now sit snug and securely on my body, and I won't have to worry about the skirt shifting. So your finished waistband piece will be cut on a fold. It will be half of your waist minus the 3 inches. by the total height that you would like the waist to finish. Okay. After that, now we're ready for fabric. One of the fabrics that we're going to use, well, the fabric that we're going to use today is a jersey knit, and it has cotton. It's made from cotton and spandex. The spandex is incredibly important because that is what is going to give the stretch to your body and allow it to sit snugly. I've gone ahead and I've taken my pattern pieces and I've already cut my front and backs out. One of the things that are important at this point, which is crucial for knits, is polyester thread. Now, you don't want to use cotton because it won't stretch and it doesn't have give or flexibility like your fabric does. You need something that as your fabric moves, your thread will move with you. So I've pulled out two different threads. I'm going to use a dyed to match for my project today, but you'll see me working on the machine in a darker thread color, and that's just to make it easy for you to see. Now that I've already got my pieces cut out and I've pinned my right sides together, we're going to head over to the machine and stitch it. It's really important when you're using a serger not to go over your pins, so be sure to take them out as you're sewing. Go through, turn your skirt around, and stitch the other side. But we're not going to take the time to do that. I've already made another skirt that has both pieces stitched. Is a perfect time to clean finish your hem. So we're going to take a quick pass on the machine and run right around. At the very end, when you're close to your beginning section, you just want to gently smooth over it and run off. The knife will cut away the original tail, and then you can slide this right under. We're going to put this off to the side and work on our waistband. We've started by taking our long rectangle and folding it in half, and these are our seams. It will create a round tube, run it through your serger, a quick pass. You're not going to serge around the top and the bottom. We're going to fold that in half to create this continuous loop. We've finished the waistband, and let's move over to the table so that I can show you the final construction. We're going to fold our waistband in half, wrong sides together. So taking the seam to seam, and we are going to move it into 4 equal parts, divide it and pin it from side to side. And then you will match it to your skirt. Once you have that in place, I have a great tip on how to do the hem. We're going to fold up 1 inch, pin it all together, and then I like to head over to my standard machine to finish. I've set the machine up already on a stretch stitch and I'm ready to go. You'll notice that I'm using a contrast thread. And don't forget to pull your pins out as you go. This stitch goes back and forth, forward, and then back again, and it allows you to have movement in your fabric, and you won't have any breakage or anything else as you stretch. So if you ever think about putting on a t-shirt and you hear something snap, as you pull it over your head, either the wrong stretch was used or the wrong fabric. All right, let's take this back over to the table so you can see it finished. Now remember, I used a contrast thread, and my suggestion is that you use one that's dyed to match. I'm sure after you've made one or two of these skirts, you're gonna love it and have one made in every color in your closet.